special family, welcome back to another video, Reddit edition. The title is, I see so many parents struggling that I wanted to share how much I love being an ASD parent. Okay. To start out, I always knew my daughter was different. She was the most difficult baby I have ever encountered. When she was a month old, she began this routine where she would start screaming and crying every night at 8 to 9 p.m. and would not let up until 4 to 5 in the morning. Nothing I did comforted her. The following day, she would be this normal baby. She continued doing this for 10 months straight. Okay, I'm pretty sure the love part gonna come in sometime. She didn't interact with people normally. She did not acknowledge others. She wouldn't try solid food until she was 14 months old. As she turned into a toddler, her behavior became dangerous. She would run into parking lots or streets with heavy traffic and throw herself down on the road. She would wedge her arm between the headboard and mattress, then throw herself off. She would beeline for the stairs and try to throw herself down them. She tried to throw herself inside a hot oven once. If I used the bathroom, it was a 4-hour screaming meltdown. I felt tethered. I could not work, and no one I knew would watch her to give me any break. I love her so much, but I felt like there was no light at the end of this. Okay, I think the love gonna come in somewhere, because at this point, at 3.5 years old, she was finally diagnosed with ASD. Back then, they used a scale, and she scored a 58 over 60, placing her as severely autistic. This opened up services for her and began attending a preschool with an autism classroom. The preschool offered support services for both her and for me, and I began to feel less isolated. As my daughter moved into elementary school, she was still nonverbal. Having her way during the day gave me an opportunity to have more time to myself, and her behaviors improved as she was around her peers. She enjoyed socializing with the other kids, but they thought she spoke another language since her language was just gibberish. She was treated by her peers like a China doll. They would fill out her classwork for her, fix her hair, help her put on her jacket, and pass her around to sit on their laps. She grew to love school and work hard at every task she was given. If she was lost and what she was supposed to do, she would look to see what the other students were doing and mimic them. All of her teachers from elementary to high school adored her. Okay, seeing how hard she worked in the school to be successful was inspiring. She eventually started speaking around age 7. The school placed her with a one-to-one reading teacher, and she caught up to her peers in reading and writing. She never complained about how much time an assignment took and refused modified assignments because she wanted to complete the same work as everyone else without being singled out. I like this. When she entered high school, she was placed on a modified diploma path. She hated the autism classes, so I withdrew her from those and moved her into more regular education courses. She loved music and learned to sing and play the guitar in school. Her voice is so beautiful that she was given a solo in choir and grew close to the students and parents in the music program. This is amazing. She was very successful academically as well. She graduated with awards this spring with a regular diploma. I find her so inspiring in how she never gives up no matter what obstacles she faces. I went back to school and got my bachelor's in nursing. The one person I wanted to be proud of me was her, and she was my biggest cheerleader getting me through school. I love my daughter so much. I think the difficulties we faced when she was young made us closer. Everyone she meets just loves her. She is the kindest, most empathetic person I know. Looking back, I never could have imagined what she would be like as an adult, and I continue to be impressed and inspired by her. I'm excited for her future now that she's 18 and transitioning into adulthood. Thank you for reading my story. I hope that it resonates with some of the people in this sub. I'm pretty sure it will, because no two kids with autism are the same. They're all unique in their own way, and you have an amazing story. Let's go to the comment section. Bone 3 says, thank you for sharing your parenting story. I keep trying to think of the good times, but they're so few and far in between. My 6-year-old is non-conversational and has the violent form of autism, which has made things quite difficult, to say the least. He has no friends, and by proxy, neither do I anymore. And even amongst these educators and therapists, he doesn't seem very well liked. I understand why. I don't like getting scratched, slapped, punched, bitten, and headbutted either. As much as I am told in this subreddit, and as much as I try to convince myself otherwise, I can't help but think, what if this is as good as it gets? Sometimes it is, sir. And then we have to accept that and start making arrangements for that. Someone else responded, please don't ate Maki. Honestly, this one of the biggest challenges in accepting my son's condition. Okay, he has autism now. What? Will he ever use the bathroom? Will he ever read? Will he ever know what it is? Is trying to accept that at 3 years old. Maybe he's a fully grown Maybe he is as fully grown as he's going to be. His body will change, but will his condition? And will it change for better or for worse? Description Odd says, I hear you, Mama, and I'm sending you all the strength. I feel the same. Okay, this one says, my son is going to 10th grade. We have not had the same experience. It's all a very different experience when you have behavior issues. And his issues are relatively minor, but it still hurts so much to be constantly confronted by it with calls and emails from school. Sweetie Restaurant says, thank you. Love these outcomes, and it helps me so much. Let's do this thing says, I needed to read this. My son is 9 and still below reading levels, and his speech, despite seeing improvement, is still 1%. OP says, hang in there. My daughter still struggles with novel language, but she has a head full of ideas and she manages to get her words out when she wants to get me some snark. LOL. Okay, Prototype says, I love her classmate, did all the work for her. That's what's happening to my daughter in kindergarten. I hope people around her will be so loving as well when she goes to elementary. Thanks for sharing. It gives me so much hope. No Direction says, your daughter sounds like my ASD daughter and gives me a lot of hope. She is a class favorite in Head Start. The older kids look out for her, helping her get water from the fountain, giving her something to play with, and making sure she's not forgotten. I was worried she would get bullied for being different, but it was the opposite, and the teacher was always surprised when I brought it up because that's not the case. Thank you for your story. I'm literally crying because I get pretty blue thinking about the unknown. Hope is all I have to hold on to, and a long wait list to help accompany me and move the needle on the compass. Tired Mama says the story shows how important it is that support for a child and parent is very early on. Where I see massive struggle is often where the child is unsupported for a variety of reasons. In the UK, usually due to lack of funding and local authorities not doing their jobs too properly. I was very similar to your daughter, now 32, married with child, and again, I had the privilege of early support. Hey fellow parent here who absolutely love my day today. Thought mine is just now transitioning into middle school and I foresee another bump in the road. Before I had her though, I didn't make a connection to any movies then, so perhaps I wasn't this exact one. My mom had a sign around the home that read, the flowers that blooms in adversity is the most rare and beautiful of all. Rings through my childhood, through it went from my head, then rings through now. Let me know what you think of this story in the comment section. See you in the next one. Bye.